O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 15 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Weekdays with Bernie segment. Tonight, let's get right to the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So it looks like Biden is going to run against Hillary. How do you think that will shake down in the liberal media precincts?
Well, first, I think reporters desperately want Joe Biden to announce because they understand that journalism, like literature, thrives on confrontation. And apparently, despite the crowds he's drawing, Bernie Sanders isn't the opposition that they want. I think they are salivating over a possible food fight between Hillary and Joe Biden, but then it can go in several directions. One, I think some liberal journalists are going to say that Hillary Clinton's problems are real. They're not trumped up. They're not the work of Republicans or the media. And she brought them on herself. And if they could have another liberal that they could root for, I think they will. Another group, for them, being part of history isn't enough. Being eyewitness isn't enough. They want to help shape history. And they did that with Barack Obama in 2008. And certainly the feminists are going to want to do that again in 2016, since she's also a historic candidate. But there's something going on that's sort of like brand new, and that is the president apparently has given his blessings to Joe Biden to run. That's not a neutral statement. And I think journalists who are still enthralled by Barack Obama may be influenced by that. They may be influenced by that, too.
Well, the war on women thing, though, I mean, look, I don't know how they campaign against each other because, as we established, there's no difference in their political philosophy. They're straight down the line, doctrinaire liberal Democrats. They're never going to go against the party. They're never going to offer a solution out of whatever the party has said for the last 20 years. They're not going to go up against Joe Biden is mini-me to Barack Obama. It's the same thing. He's never going to say anything different than Barack Obama says, ever.
Correct.
All right?
Correct.
Now, Hillary, there's a little bit of a difference, but here's the deal. Obama likes Biden, and I don't think he likes Hillary very much. And for him, knowing the president the way I do, that means something. You know, if he likes you, and then he knows he could get Joe on the phone after and say, Joe, you know, he'll be the elder statesman out of the White House, but still a big advisor, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think Barack Obama is, I think he's a narcissist. I think he cares about his legacy. He said recently, as well known, that if he were allowed to run for a third term,
he'd win again. Right.
He'd win again. Well, you talk about mini-me. That's Joe Biden.
Yeah, he'll be right there with Biden, and he'll still be actively involved where the Clintons would cut him cold. Now, let me ask you this. You this. If Biden goes against Hillary, then does he enlist in the war on women? Does he get a uniform and go after the women? You see, I mean, you know, anybody who's after Hillary and says critical things about her, that's a war on women play here. How does Joe handle that?
A uniform. My sources tell me that he's going to have a nice plaid skirt that he's going to go out campaigning. What do you mean a uniform? No, but I think what you said earlier is, as crazy as it sounds, I think you got something right, and that is, am I still on? Yeah. And that is that the two of them. I mean, Bernie Sanders and Hillary may have some differences. But Joe Biden and Hillary don't have any differences. But that's where the media is going to have a tough time. That's where reporters are going to have to decide which bandwagon they're going to jump on.
A lot of it has to do with Hillary is indicted. In the case of one of them, she's a woman.
Right. She's not getting indicted.
Oh, I think you might be wrong about that.
That is never going to happen. Never.
I don't know.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Last word real quick. Why don't they like Bernie Sanders? How come Bernie Sanders isn't the guy?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, he's drawing big crowds.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You don't know? Be afraid that he's going to take their houses too, along with all the Republicans? I guess Bernie wants to take everybody's stuff.
You know what I think it is? I think they don't take him seriously because despite the crowds, despite the poll numbers in New Hampshire, they just don't believe that that even Democratic voters are really going to pick a socialist as the nominee.
All right, Bernie, thank you. Gutfeld McGurk on deck. A new poll about Black Lives Matter and why are some political candidates so boring? Then the factor tip of the day, I'll comment on the Trump-Kelly situation. We are coming right back.